Yo guys, what do? Your boy Exodius here, bringing you guys another video. So today I kind of just wanted to talk about, if you've been coming to my streams and things, you probably know, I don't think I've mentioned it in any other videos, but around the time that I got my new earbuds and everything, I actually got an iPad. Now, I was doing a lot of research and things online, and I kind of wanted an iPad originally just to read books and to watch Netflix and stuff, so I was originally going to go with the iPad, the 7th generation one, but I was reading about the processors, and I know how Apple treats their devices after they start to get old and they start to slow down and things, so I wanted to kind of future-proof it, maybe for a year or two or something, and then I ended up seeing that you could actually get the Wi-Fi version and then use the GPS and things with it as well. So in my car, I have a 2013 Charger, and I actually have, I'm 2 years too early to have the nicer, like I still have the touchscreen and the Uconnect and all that stuff, but there's nothing I can do to it. Like I can't really swap it out because it controls my climate control and everything, and I like it for the most part because I paid a little bit extra to get like the Beats package and all that, but I don't like the fact it doesn't have like YouTube and the AirPlay and all that stuff where I can really connect my phone into it. So it kind of just, it's my GPS, I play music with it, and I rarely really use the GPS in it because you can only enter it while you're stopped. And I never think beforehand like, oh crap, I should use the GPS or something, because it's just such a pain in the butt sometimes. So I had the idea to get an iPad so we could, when I was doing research and things for the GPS and all, because you can split screen apps and do things like I could have the GPS open and Netflix open, or GPS and YouTube or something. And then with it being the cellular version, I don't have to connect to the hotspot on my phone, and it has its own like line of service with unlimited data and everything. So things continuously kept piling up that I could actually do with it. And then I found through YouTube that recently with like iOS 13, I think they said, you could actually use an adapter to transfer files and things to it from an SD card or something. And then I started to look a little bit further because I was like, what's the point in that? They don't really have any good movie editors or anything besides iMovie, and I hate iMovie. So I looked a little bit deeper and I found that they have this thing called Luma Fusion, and then they have something like Beatmaker 3. Now, I realized that you could transfer files and things to it and everything, but I did not realize that you could connect actual USB compliant things. So like, I bought the official adapter, so the iPad, the issue with the iPad is it only outputs like 500 milliamp hours, however you say it, mAh or whatever, but using the lightning cable through this, you can actually power something like my BeatPad that I got many years ago, or my audio interface for my microphone, and these things can connect to your iPad through GarageBand. There's this thing called Beatmaker 3. It's a lot like maybe Fruity Loops, for lack of a better term, but it's a lot like Fruity Loops, and it's a lot like using the computer. And while it is kind of annoying that you do have to power it with something else, you could just carry around a little power bank and use that to power it, or a lot of bigger devices like my BeatPad has an input for it so you can plug it in. So I thought it would be really nice when I go and travel, because obviously I can't phase out my laptop, but my gaming laptop gets so dang heavy and it's so dang hot when you're doing something as simple as editing videos and things. Like, it's great for it, but it's so inconvenient to have it on your lap or something. I figured the iPad would be a nice way to kind of simplify the process, and my smaller projects and things I can edit on here. And that would also give me a break from having to edit with Adobe Premiere and feeling so burnt out at the end of the week when I've already edited 4 or 5 videos for work. And that's really the thing that's hurt my consistency on YouTube, is just not feeling like editing, because I sit in front of Adobe Premiere for 3 or 4 hours a day trying to figure things out and everything, and working with different things, because I try to throw a new element in every video that I do, and it's just tedious to go back to it to film my own video for YouTube or something, you know? Like, I love shooting my YouTube videos, but then when it comes to the process of editing, it's always such a drag and everything. But I recently purchased Luma Fusion, actually yesterday, because I've been wanting to get it, and it looks dope, and this should be my first video actually edited on it. But I kind of want to talk about, which I have been, the cool things that you really can do with an iPad, because you guys know I'm not one for Apple products. I hate iPhones. I think they're overpriced. I'm not a MacBook fan. I think they're overpriced as well. I love Apple for the simplicity and everything that comes with their products, but I hate the prices. And when I realized that I could get an iPad Air, especially through Verizon, for like 520 bucks, the cellular version, I was like, that's a pretty good deal. I can't justify spending over $1,000 on a phone. That's like a down payment on a car. So some of my favorite accessories I've got so far is obviously this adapter. Now, like I said, the iPad Air does not put out enough power. I think that's a different story with the iPad Pro, but I was not willing to shell out $1,000 on an iPad Pro when I don't know how well I'm gonna like it. There's plenty of things I bought in the past thinking they would make things more convenient, and they actually just made things harder. But this allows you to plug, it has a USB cable and a USB-C, and it allows you to essentially plug in a lightning cable and help power whatever device you're plugging into this that you normally could not power with this alone. Now, one issue I've had with this is, I guess the iPad doesn't put out enough power for me to power my SD card reader, so I'm kind of on the fence about getting a lightning, because I already had one that was a lightning cable to SD card and USB, but if you don't have an official one, it won't do the powering thing. So essentially, I'm probably going to end up having to get another one, but I can get like an $8 one through Amazon. The only thing I've read about them is the slow transfer speeds, but I feel like that's always going to be an issue, and I can't quite get this to connect to my Sony a6400, which I'm filming this on right now, so I don't really know of a better way to get files off my SD card onto my iPad. But I guess I shouldn't have sent it back, but then again, it paid for this, and then it was just a whole string of events. So then I got the Apple Pencil as well. Now, I was not gonna purchase one. I didn't think I was going to be able to get one because they are normally like 100, 115 bucks, and I'm not willing to spend that on this alone. But then my friend told me he had an extra one while I posted on Facebook, so for 30 bucks, really, and that was a steal, so I appreciate it, Zach. But you really just plug it into the lightning connector on your iPad. It's supposed to come with a connector that allows you to plug into a lightning cable, but I don't know if it was in the packaging, and I threw the packaging away without thinking about it, and it works fine because it charges up nearly instantly with the lightning connector. It takes like maybe 30 minutes to fully charge, and it lasts me like a week or so before it even gets down to 40-30%. So I think that this is a wonderful thing to have with like LumaFusion or something. If you're using something where there's like, it's smaller to, like an app or something, it's big enough where you can kind of hit it with your finger and it's going to be accurate, but maybe with something like LumaFusion, you're going to be dragging and dropping and things, and it serves a different function in a lot of programs than your finger does. Now, your fingers you can use to zoom in or zoom out with LumaFusion, and obviously you can use them to move clips and things around, but when you use Apple Pencil, they both serve different functions and things. And I also bought this smart case with magnets and things in it, and it kind of magnetically attaches like this, and then you can kind of set your iPad up and everything back here, or you can even use it like this, and then it kind of gives you a nice platform to type on. Now, the keyboard does seem pretty nice. I don't think it's worth $150, so I'm not paying $150 for it, and I threw a tempered glass screen protector on it through Amazon because I don't really trust Apple products. So that's pretty much it about that. I have not gotten a chance really to use LumaFusion yet because I have not. Like I said, I got it yesterday, and I usually don't shoot too much on the weekends, but I'm hoping that can kind of simplify the process with not only my video work, but allow me to edit my YouTube videos and things from bed, or just work on different projects and stuff. It's not quite as advanced from what because I've been doing a lot of research on it. It's not as advanced as Premiere, but it does allow you to color grade, edit, things like that, but it does not have features like stabilization, adding stabilization to your shaky camera footage, noise reduction. I've never used noise reduction, so I don't know too much about it. But on the note of noise reduction, I recently shot a music video for a local rapper named Spvce, and it turned out amazing. The only thing I'm kind of frustrated about with the video was the camera created a little bit of noise. It's not a whole lot of noise because the a6400 is pretty good in low light, but with the new lens I'll be getting the Sigma 30mm 1.4 aperture, should help a lot. And we have a picture shoot for engagement pictures and things in Myrtle Beach where I will be able to test it out and everything. Now, it shouldn't be very dark there, but it'll be cool to experiment with the new the bokeh and stuff, because this lens gives me a decent amount sometimes, but when you zoom in, it changes the aperture and it changes everything else that you're working with. So, and I've noticed this lens, while the camera's good enough to kind of compensate in low light, it doesn't do as much as I'd like. So this is a 3.5. Like right now, I'm shooting the aperture at 3.5, but the lens I'm getting, the Sigma 30mm, will be an aperture of 1.4. So I don't know, it's 1.4, 1.8, 2.0. That's a couple stops of light, and then I found a few variable ND filters for the end of it for like 20 bucks. And I also will be working on building my new computer and stuff, and I'd kind of like to document that because I've never really built, I guess I've upgraded computers. My first computer, which Brittany now has, I ordered and I slowly upgraded it. And then the other computer I have, actually I built for my friend, which Dakota did the majority of and everything. And it got destroyed during shipping and everything. So that's actually the destroyed one. So whenever you see my stream or something go out, it's because it's destroyed and has its issues. So that should be a pretty cool process. It's going to be running a 3900X and a 5700 XT, and I want to be upgrading the 5700 to the 5700 XT in this computer, so Brittany can use this for streaming art and things like that as well. But we have a lot of things coming soon, and moving and things like that, and whenever the time comes, and we should have a lot to actually film and to go over hopefully soon. And I should have a few more realtors and things I'm working on and projects with friends from home that are doing home remodeling and things, so hopefully I'll have some content to actually record soon, but we'll go from there. So thank you guys for watching. If you're in the market for an iPad, I'd recommend the iPad Air 3 unless you're just using it for media sources, things like Netflix and all that. And if you're really set on it, the iPad Pro I definitely think is worth it with the USB-C and all that, but I'm kind of waiting to see if maybe they'll release a new one soon or something. But for the time being, this one has the A12 processor, the iPad Pro has the A12X, and then the regular iPad 7th gen has the A10. So I think it's better just future-proofing it. And one thing that I'd recommend is possibly get more space than you think you'll need. I think the 256GB would probably be your best bet if you're going to be doing anything similar to what I'm doing on this. I have the 64GB version, but with updates and things to grapple, that will fill up very quickly, and them not allowing you to use an SD card slot on it, like having one on it where your SD card just stays in it for extra space, kind of is detrimental in that whole grand scheme of things. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.